The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 6 came on last night. Let's talk about it. Spoilers ahead if you haven't watched it yet. Feel free to come back later. The episode opens in Austin, Texas in 1983. We see a young Joel and Tommy. Tommy has gotten into a little bit of trouble and Joel lets him know, I'm going to take the fall for it. Tommy's really scared of their father. Their father beats them and Joel lets Tommy know, I'm going to take the beating. Don't worry about it. His father gets home and Joel has a conversation with him. And his father is talking kind of about his own upbringing, about how his father beat him and how like he doesn't hit Joel and Tommy that hard, how it's not that bad. He's basically just rationalizing why he's doing what he's doing. And Joel is questioning him, and basically his father's like, you know what, when you have one of your own, I hope you do better than me. But we see very early on, Joel is a very kind, protecting person. He wants to protect his younger brother. He's a good brother. And this is an interesting scene with his father, because we see Joel as a father figure to Ellie and his own daughter. Before that, Joel is a good man and a good father, but like any father, sometimes he doesn't make the best decisions. We then cut to the day before Ellie's 15th birthday. Joel's at the bar trading some things with Seth for a cake for Ellie and some pieces for the guitar he's kind of rebuilt for her. We see him at the house building the guitar, getting everything ready, and then Tommy shows up bringing a young Ellie who has burned her arm. She is on some painkillers and she's telling Joel why she did it. Obviously, she just wants to cover up the bite mark. She wants to be able to wear short sleeves again. Obviously, he's very concerned for her, but he lets her know, like, it's okay, and she goes to sleep. After sleeping, she comes downstairs, and she sees the cake that Joel has ordered, and it says, Happy Birthday, Eli. There's a cute moment when Joel turns around to get like a knife to cut the cake, but Ellie just kind of digs in and she's like, great cake. And so they have this sweet moment. And this whole episode really is Joel just being like the sweetest dad. I mean, we see some interesting decisions he makes later on, but like he loves Ellie so much. And this whole episode is just really dedicated to like his heart as a father. I think seeing his own father, how terrible he was, Joel clearly wants to be the best father he could be to Ellie, and I think it's really sweet. Joel gives her the guitar. It's so sweet, all the embellishments he put on there. And she asks him to play her something. So he sits down and he sings Future Days by Pearl Jam. And this song is really just like a song about his devotion to Ellie. It's like a song about like how his whole existence basically is for her. Like she is like the center of his world and he loves her. And like the last episode, we saw Ellie begin to sing this song and she stopped herself. And initially I thought like maybe it's because she's considering Dina and how important Dina is to her. But I think like obviously like that flashback of Joel singing this to her on her 15th birthday, hit home. We cut to Ellie's 16th birthday. Joel has planned this really fun day for her. He's so sweet. He takes her through the woods. She's making all these silly guesses about what her present could be. And then they come upon this gigantic T-Rex statue and she's so excited. She climbs up on top of it and Joel of course is like, please don't, be safe. But she gets on the top and she looks over and she sees like, oh, there's a museum. And Joel's like, if you don't kill yourself on that dinosaur, then yeah, we can go into the museum. But yeah, it's so cool. They go inside and there's all these setups and Joel has clearly like made sure everything works. Like he oiled up the gears on this and like things are working for her and it's just really fun. He tells her that she can go to space and they go and they see this really cool space capsule in the museum. He tells her to grab a helmet and so they like break the glass. She grabs one of the helmets in the displays and she climbs in the capsule and he has like a present for her. He gives her a cassette tape with like a recording of one of the launches and so she's sitting there just like with her imagination, imagining going to space, listening to the recording, and Joel is just watching her with a sweet smile on his face. She takes her headphones off and he asks her, did I do good? And she's like, of course you did. Are you kidding? And like we see how happy he is in this moment. All he wanted to do was make Ellie happy and he did that. And cut to a year later, it's Ellie's 17th birthday and Joel walks in on her and another girl hanging out and like fooling around. She just got a tattoo and they're smoking weed. Joel is just like the concerned parent and he's like, are you doing all the crazy rebellious teenage things all at once? This is an interesting moment because Ellie kind of comes out to Joel because he tells her like, oh, are you experimenting with this girl? And she's like, it's not an experiment. So like she basically comes out to Joel in this moment. It's a little tense and later on we see Ellie grab her bed. She wants to move down to the garage. She's trying to take her mattress out in the rain and Joel stops her, have like a conversation and he lets her know like, I think it would be good for you to have your own space, and I'll help you set that place up. Although in the conversation, Joel is like, this is my house and this is my rules. And Ellie's like, this isn't your house. You don't own anything. And I feel like that's kind of a double meaning. Like maybe like, you're not really my dad. You don't own me. But like, you know, obviously he feels responsible for her. He views her as his daughter. And in that moment, I think like his heart softens. I think he wants her to know like, I love you and I want to make you feel comfortable in this house. So he helps her set up her own space. Space after he leaves the room, and that conversation breaks my heart because, like, I don't know, he's just trying his best. They did have a conversation about the moths that Ellie was drawing, her dreams about the moths. He finds Gale and he asks her if she studied dreams and, like, what a moth could mean. He's like, is it like, you know, new life? And she's like, no, that's a butterfly. Moths mean death. We then cut 2 years into the future. It's Ellie's 19th birthday. We do see her in her room. She's kind of going over some questions she has for Joel about that day with the fireflies. Like, she really wants to know the truth about what happened. She has her suspicions that he's lied to her, and she's interrupted reading her questions that she's written down by Joel showing up at her door saying, let's go on your first patrol. You're 19 now. Let's go. And so she's excited. She grabs her gun and they go on this patrol. He lets her know, like, this is kind of the easy trail just to kind of start you out. But then they're notified that something's gone down and they have to go investigate. At first, Joel is like, go home, go back to town. And Ellie's like, no, I'm not your kid. I'm your partner. We're going together. And so he's like, okay. So they go and they start to investigate what has just happened. Come across Eugene, Gale's husband. And we knew this moment was eventually probably going to be explained because in the first episode, we know that Joel shot Gale's husband. And we don't know exactly what happened, how they were able to still kind of have like somewhat of a relationship, but we knew something had went down. And so this is that situation. Unfortunately, Eugene has been bit. And Joel is very by the books. He's like, okay, well, see you later. And he tries to like end it then, but Eugene is begging Joel, please let me go back to the camp. Let me stand outside the gate. Please let me talk to Gale one last time, please. And he does like this little test where she has him like, you know, count to 10 and like see his reflexes. And she's like, Joel, he has like an hour. Please let him go say goodbye to his wife. And so Joel lies to Ellie and he goes, okay, well, go get the horses. I promise. So Ellie leaves and Joel and Eugene start walking. And Eugene thinks he's just leading him down the trail to go home. Joel takes Eugene to the lake. Eugene is terrified. He's saying, please let me go talk to Gale. Please, I don't have anything to say to her. I want her to talk to me. I'm terrified. I'm scared to die. And he's like, I just want to see her face one more time. And Joel says, well, if you love someone, you'll be able to see her face. And after a few moments, he's like, I can see her. And then it happens. Joel ends his life. Ellie comes upon the scene, and she's clearly so upset with Joel. As they're riding back to the town, Joel basically lets Ellie know, I'm going to tell Gale what she needs to know, and only that, to make things easier. And obviously, Ellie is not saying a word because she's so angry. When they get back to the town, Gale and Tommy show up, and, you know, Joel is trying to comfort Gale. Tells her Eugene was very brave. He loves you. He didn't want to see you one last time to put you in any danger, so he did it himself. He took care of it himself. He was so brave. And Gale hugs him, but Ellie is so angry that Joel has lied that she just spills the beans. She lets Gale know that's not what happened. Actually, he was begging to see you, and Joel lied to him and to me, saying that he would bring him back here. But no, while I was gone, he shot him in the head, and it was too late, and he lied to me and your husband. And Joel turns to Gale, and Gale slaps him in the face and tells him to leave. And before Joel can leave, Ellie goes, you swore. And I thought that was interesting because, like, he said, I promise, earlier in the episode when he was, like, telling her to go get the horses. But, you know, I think it's a callback to the finale of season 1 where she's telling him to swear that what he said is true about what happened with the fireflies. And he says, I swear. And so I think, yeah, this is a double meaning for you swore. She knows that Joel lied and that he's capable of lying to make someone feel better. We flash forward to 9 months in the future at the New Year's Eve dance. And, you know, he's talking to Tommy and his sister-in-law, and they let him know, like, we love you. You're important to this town. But, like, clearly he's just going through a lot because Ellie's not talking to him. And now we know why she's not talking to him. She's upset with him. She's angry with him. She doesn't trust him anymore. We see the scene unfold again where, you know, Seth hurls that homophobic slur, and he gets up and he's protecting Ellie in his mind, but like he overstepped, and Ellie just she's so angry with him, and she tells him that she doesn't need his help. And Joel is so hurt, and he just leaves the dance. I think he's hurt, he's embarrassed, and all he wants to do is connect with Ellie. All he wants to do is have that relationship with her, and there's so much hurt there. We see him that evening. He's sitting on the porch playing the guitar. Last time we saw this scene, it looks like Ellie just, walked past him and didn't talk to him, but we see her come back to the porch and they start to have a conversation. They start to kind of talk about some things, and basically tells him, I need you to be 100% honest about what happened during the Firefly incident, or else we are just done. So he starts kind of answering her questions, kind of talks about how he had the same face when he was talking about Eugene, when he was talking to her about what happened with the Fireflies, the same face, the same lying face, And she asked him, were there raiders? And he shakes his head no. He's like, were there other immune people? And he shakes his head no. And she's like, did you? Meaning, did he, kill all those people? And he shakes his head yes. And she asks, could there have been a cure? And he shakes his head yes. And she is so upset. Joel tells her, you would have died. Being the cure would have killed you. She basically accuses him of, taking away her purpose. She's like, I was supposed to die. I was going to be the cure. You took that away from me. You took that away from everyone. And she accuses him of being selfish. He tells her that he would do it all over again for just one more second chance with her. And she's like, you're selfish. You did it because you're selfish. And he's like, no, I did it because I love you. And he basically repeats what his father said to him at the beginning of the episode. He basically tells her, you can't understand how much I love you. And, I hope if you have one of your own one day, you'll do better than me. We then hear Ellie's last words to Joel, and she goes, I don't think I can forgive you for this, but I would like to try. And just the look on Joel's face, it just breaks my heart, because, he loves Ellie so much. And yeah, he did make a selfish decision saving her, but, he loves her so much, and all he wanted to hear was that she could possibly forgive him, and they could possibly build their relationship back. And so, just knowing this is the last scene they had together before Abby does what she does to him, later on, it's just terrible, and it's so sad. The episode cuts back to present day. Ellie is walking away from what she just did to Nora, and she's walking towards the theater in the rain. This episode was so good, and I really hope Pedro Pascal gets an Emmy for this, because, it was such a heartbreaking episode to watch. He is such a good man, and he just loves Ellie so much, and he wanted to be different. He wanted to be the best father he could be. He did make some bad decisions. He did lie. But, his heart is really in a good place. And, even the decision to lie to Gail about Eugene, he really thought he was doing the right thing. Even not letting Eugene go back to the town. He thought he was doing the right thing. He thought he was following the rules. This episode just ripped my heart out. I just love Pedro Pascal. I love Bella Ramsey. They did so well in this episode together. Their chemistry is just beautiful. And I'm gonna miss Joel. I'm gonna miss Pedro in this show, because he's so good. So this was just a great episode about fatherhood.